Hi folks, JP here from the podcast. Just to let you all know that the podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ and entertainment business. Alex is on Facebook and Instagram, and you can hit him up through the WhatsApp for any bookings on 07845 746 092. And also folks, the podcast has taken on a new partner, and we're partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If you want any jerseys, or if you've got any memorabilia sitting around you want framed or anything looked after that way, contact John Mullaney, and you can get him at johnmullaney0971@gmail.com, or contact him on his mobile 07835 072 582. And here at the Unrestricted View, we hope you're all enjoying the content, and if you are, please like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and also share amongst your Celtic family as well. Hail, hail from all of us.
Good evening and welcome to the Celtic Unrestricted View. My name is Ryan Clifford and it's a Monday Huddle. As you can all see, I'm on my lonesome tonight. Oh, it's a shame, innit? I'm myself tonight, everybody. So, unfortunately, it's a bit unfortunate circumstances for us tonight. Unfortunately, it's just myself. Normally there is 2 or 3 is on, but as we all know, life gets to us all and sometimes circumstances pop up. So, yes, it is just myself. Focusing on the game yesterday that has just been Celtic 2, Dundee 1 at Dens Park. James Forrest, the man of the moment. So just a wee chat tonight on James Forrest and obviously the game that has just happened. The topic for tonight is, will James Forrest be a major asset in the run-in, folks, in the title run-in? James Forrest, it divides opinion, I would say, by a lot of the fans. Anybody who's watching it live or when they do comment or see the podcast, what is your thoughts on James Forrest? What's your thoughts on him in terms of his overall time at Celtic? Is he a legend? What's your thoughts on that? How do you feel about him coming at the end of the season playing? What's your thoughts on that? Do you feel that he should be playing? Do you feel that he shouldn't be playing? Is there other guys you would rather play? Give us your thoughts. It's a free-for-all tonight. But the main topic will be James Forrest in the run-in due to his experience. Will it count massively? Should he play? Does he deserve to play? That's really the main focus of tonight, and obviously on the game that's just been. We'll go through that as we can. So any questions, folks, fire away, and we can have a wee nat on this Monday evening. Well, Celtic did win, obviously 2-1. Obviously the team across the water did get their victory. So it did, if you want to call it pressure. it just puts us to then go win the game, which we did. So it was definitely thanks, Ian. I know a lot of people say that, mate. So it's about time I came on and had a wee chat myself, mate. So hope you're well and had a good weekend, Ian. Francis, hope you're well. For me, James has to play alongside Maeda. Well, James, I think, Francis, I think you possibly could be right. A lot of people might say Kuhn as well. I thought Kuhn didn't play the best, I would say, yesterday. I know a lot of people didn't as well. It was one of the games, I think, Francis, where I think it's getting to the stage now, mate, where, I don't know if you agree, Francis, but I think it's getting to the stage now where, yes, we want performances and we want good victories, but in terms of performance-wise, but I think it's just get the games done, Francis, personally. As much as for me, we want good victories, we want to play the Celtic way. People say, what's the Celtic way? Well, I think it all depends on what you feel the way football should be and the way Celtic should play. But for me, it's fast, free-flowing attacking football. That's the way we've had it in the last few years recently, and we've all enjoyed it. Celtic's all about attacking and winning trophies and playing with an attacking mentality, and that's what we've done the last few years. It's been very, very successful, I would say, in my opinion. Nick, evening, mate. How you doing? Hope you're well. Not really sunny now, mate, so no long shooting holiday yourself, mate. Hope you're well. SJ, thought Skills had a good game. No, I'm away. I'm only kidding. No, I watched it, Matt Scales. It was a bigger improvement than they did last week. I think that's fair to say. I'm not really going to talk about. I'm not going to really hammer players anymore, or really give my big opinions on players now. It's all about batting the players, and what we've got now to the end of the season, we just go from there. We've all got opinions on certain players, but I can definitely say that Scales was better than last week. I think that's something we can definitely all agree on. We've got John W67. James Forrest just isn't our best winger. He's our best player. Fair enough, John. If that's your opinion, mate, I can definitely see your thoughts on that, especially the experience side. He's very, very experienced in terms of this running. We've not got much experience, I would say. We've got obviously Cal McGregor, Joe Hart. They're experienced campaigners, just like James Forrest. Carter Vickers is experienced in terms of winning trophies at Celtic, but he's not as experienced in terms of guys like McGregor and Joe Hart in terms of these title runnings. Vickers has been through a few, but not as much as Joe Hart's experience with Man City and England, all the cats for England, and McGregor's been there and done it with Scotland as well. Major tournaments recently, obviously. Recently, McGregor, the European campaigns with Celtic, and these title runnings, McGregor's been a massive part of that. He's won loads of trophies, trebles with Celtic. So if you add James Forrest to that, for me, James Forrest he kind of divides opinions with the fans, and myself included. I wouldn't say I'm his biggest fan in terms of his recent few years at Celtic. I think he's far to deceive, but what he does give you is he does have quality, and when he does bring it, we've seen it yesterday. It does pay dividends to the team on the park. It's not just the bits of quality that he does have. It's what he does behind the scenes that we don't see. So we can all say that we don't rate him as a player, or he should be doing this better, or should be doing that better. We don't know what he's doing behind the scenes to help, obviously, younger guys as well. And maybe I was a bit critical of him getting a new deal when he did, because let's be fair, if you looked at his stats before he got a new deal, would you have gave him a new deal? Probably not. But not everything's just based on right now. It's what you do behind the scenes and what you have done in the past. That the loyalty sometimes does give you a bit of leeway as well, I think. Don't know what anybody feels on that. Because loyalty these days, it's kind of gone. You've obviously got to look who we have on the show. Barry Bannon, he's been at Sheffield Wednesday for nearly 9 years now. Just over 9 years, just about that. And that just shows you that loyalty is it's no a lot in football. So it takes for a player to play for so long at one club. It's massive to have in run-ins. If that's relegation fights, title fights, European run-ins, whatever it is, it's massive. We've got it with Cal McGregor. His experience is massive. So these guys have been here and done it, and I'd rather have these guys on my side, even coming off the bench. Then for me, I think it's vital. Obviously, his goals yesterday, we can have a chat through that. I don't know what he's all thought about his goals yesterday. I thought his first goal was really, really, really good. It's when you really look at it again, it was just instinct for Forrest. It was brilliant. I really thought he played well yesterday. He gave us something different. I would rather James Forrest personally than Yang anyway. Anybody who watches the channel knows my thoughts on Yang. I'm not his biggest fan yet. I don't see it with Yang just yet. Potentially in the future, it could be, but right now I don't think it's what we need. I think we can definitely go and get a lot better, but who knows in the summer under Rodgers with a good pre-season again, how we can come on in the summer. But for me, I think I would go with you, Francis. Sorry. I think Maeda has to come into the team as soon as he's fit. And if James Forrest keeps up this type of form, then I would say then you've got to continue. But Kuhn, he has played okay since he's obviously issues with his teeth, and I think he lost a bit of weight, or he put on a bit of weight due to circumstances. So now he's back fit. I think he's got a bit of quality. Well, I know it's going to be a longer term. Who knows? That's down to obviously another good pre-season. We can judge Kuhn to end of the season, then we'll go again in the summer. A lot of people might say that we should be buying better. People think, no, give him a chance, pre-season again, and then we'll go again. For me, I think Kuhn's okay. Definitely he's okay. I think next season would be the best to really judge Kuhn. Francis, I think your comment there. I'll go there. Francis, for me, Kuhn is doing enough. And sadly, Palmer isn't a team player. Scales was better. He was posted missing at the very end of the game for that Dundee back post header. He has to learn. Well, obviously, Francis, you've watched us long enough, mate, and we've spoke to you long enough, mate, that you know my thoughts on Scales. That's the thing sometimes, but I think, Francis, we don't always learn. And for me, I know people will say that he's doing this well, he's heading well, he's doing this well, he's tackling well. But that's the basics of a defender, is to header. It is to header. Header and tackle, etc. That is what the basics is for a defender. So when guys do that well, then they should be doing it well. But like you say, Francis, when you make silly mistakes like that, or when you're not there, when you should be there, then it's a learning curve for Scales. But it should be, for me, Francis, that should be, I don't know what you feel, but that should be already there for Scales. He's played enough now at this team. He knows the level he's got to be at. He knows the basics that he should be playing at. And I agree with you, Francis, but again, I don't want to sit here and totally hammer Scales or other players because we won the game. And I did kind of hammer Scales a bit last week, so I don't really want to do it again when he did play a bit better. I agree with you, did play better. On Kuhn, Francis, again, it's just going to be opinions, mate. For me, I think I'm agreeing with you. He's shown flashes, but I think with longer term, I think it looks a bit lightweight. I think you need to get yourself in the gym or get yourself really maybe more fitter for Scottish football. He does look a bit lightweight. He does look like he's got speed. I must admit, he does look speedy. He does look a bit tricky. But maybe it's just putting it all together, getting coached in pre-season, getting more coached with Rodgers, and maybe it might come good, Francis. Who knows? Kevin, how you doing, mate? Have you been to a party, Ryan, and fell asleep? Well, Kevin, I've actually been sober this weekend, mate, so I'm nice and fresh. So that's why we're on here having a wee chat. I'm not the one slacking on the panel this week. No, I'm only kidding. Guys are just unfortunately can't make it tonight, so I'm under Todd. Just keep the channel going, keep it out there. So hope you're well, Kevin. Ian says, did Kyle go set Forrest up, or was it a poor finish? I thought he kind of set him up, but again, Ian, it'll just depend on how you take the footage, mate, and how you see it. But either way, it was a fantastic finish, Ian. I don't know what you thought of that, but it was a quality finish, in my opinion. John, that's obviously the partner, John Mulaney. If you want any framing, contact John. Can't hear you on YouTube, Brian. John, that must be an issue with YouTube, John. If anybody else can hear me, then it must just be YouTube, because we're fine on. It's fine here. It must just be YouTube, John. Hopefully it gets back on very soon. We'll try and sort that out, but it's nothing from our end. It must just be YouTube. Kevin, I'm fine, Ryan. Cheers, brilliant, Kevin. Hope you're well. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night, Kevin, as well. And we've got John W67. I normally criticise Scales, but he defended really well. Yeah, John, I must admit, it was much better than it was last weekend. That's definitely something I can definitely admit. Yeah, Kevin, I can hear you on YouTube. Brilliant, Kevin. It must be all good then. It must be good. It must just be you, John. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, Kevin. Lindsay, good evening all. And Ryan, I hope you're all well. Thanks, Lindsay, I'm well. Hope you're well as well. John W67, Kuhn seems like he's scared to shoot. Again, John, it's not something we've done a lot of this season. I would say that's a score goals from outside the box. So I don't know if that's just Kuhn in general, mate. I think that's maybe just a full team. It looks like we're quite a technical-based team, quite passing. So it's always try to get the ball forward into the box and kind of go for air. We don't really shoot a lot from the outside of the box. I've noticed that. Now you bring it to my attention, John. I can understand that a bit more, what you're saying, but I don't think it's just Kuhn. I think it's in general. I think it's just been, we're just not that type of team by the looks of it. We don't really do it often enough for me. But hopefully that's something we can implement next season, because I think it's something we are lacking. And set pieces, we don't score enough from set pieces as well. But I'd imagine in the summer that will maybe get looked at as well. Maybe add a bit of height to the team, because I do feel we lack a bit of height as well, especially at set pieces. Don't know if anybody else feels that, but I do feel we lack a bit of height. But on the game yesterday, my thoughts on the game was, again, it wasn't anywhere near vintage Celtic. If anybody else like to put their thoughts on the game, we can have a wee chat. Get your opinions in, and we'll have a wee debate if possible. In fact, Big Alan's on the night, and JP's on either for A2 to kind of debate. I don't like to be John Anderson, the referee here, and can I get in between the two of them tonight? So, no, I'm only kidding. But yeah, if you've got your thoughts on the game yesterday, just have a wee comment and we'll have a wee chat about it. But for me, my opinion was, it wasn't vintage Celtic. It wasn't fantastic. For me, like I says, as much as you want a performance and you want to go and win and blow teams away and you want to win the game comfortably, this stage of the season is just about winning. I think we can all cope. As much as it might not be good, it might be frustrating, but I think we'll all cope in the next few games. 4 to go in the league. If you win the A4, 1-0 or 2-1, whatever it is, as long as you win the game, I think at the end of the season, we'll not really be talking about the last 4 or 5 games of the season where we didn't play well, because we'll all be celebrating. we'll all be getting the beers out, no bleach with the beers and stuff. So I don't think we'll be moaning about the last bit of the season if we get the victories. It's all about the 3 points. Yes, SJ, you're totally right. It's all about the 3 points. As much as we want a good performance, we want free-flowing football, it is getting to the stage of the season where you just want victories. I totally agree with you, Belfast Celt. The clean sheets that is concerning. That is a concern. It's been a concern a lot of the season. I don't feel we've kept enough clean sheets. I've not actually looked at I'm saying that without looking at the stats, but I think in terms of what we've seen recently, we've not kept a lot of clean sheets. Ironic that Nadowski played a game, we got a clean sheet, and then he's away again, and now we can see goals. Is that something that you can put in? Who knows? But for me, I thought we played okay. It wasn't vintage Celtic. we did need a wee kick up the bum in the second half. We didn't start the second half very well. That seems to be the kind of scenario of our season. One half good, second half not as good, or the second half not as good, but the first half good, etc. There's loads of things that's been happening like that during the season. Motherwell away was a massive game that showed that. The first half was one of the worst performances I've ever seen for a Celtic team. I was really critical of us, but the second half we came out, and then obviously Big Addy Mida gets the winner, and we were a far better team in the second half. So I think that's something that we need to get better. Belfast Celtic is definitely the clean sheets, but like I said, as much as we don't want to concede goals or we don't want to struggle in games to get the 3 points, I think it is all about getting the wins now. That's the most important thing, is getting that trophy at the end of the season. A good man, JP. Evening, folks. Hope everyone is well. Sorry I'm unable to be on tonight. I've got a dodgy belly all day and night. Not getting caught short. Ryan, do you think the pitch affected their play? Hope you're getting well, big man. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm a gaffer, mate, to take over when you're not here. I'm not kidding, mate. Get well soon. I don't know, JP. I think, obviously, the pitch that we aim across the water in Dundee played it a few weeks ago was far worse. And that was quite I obviously watched the game, and that was quite a decent game, actually. There was some good football played with Dundee. On that side, I thought Dundee played well again against us. I thought the boy McKibben, he played well. He looks a decent player. I'm not saying to sign him or anything like that. I'm just saying for Dundee, he's a very good player. I don't want to say a team better than Dundee, because Dundee have done well this season. Tony Docherty's got them playing very well. And obviously they made the top six, so what do you think? Sorry. Make the top six for Dundee is massive, considering it's Tony Doc's first management job. And I think he's done very well. And Tony Doc doesn't get a big budget like us at Celtic have, or Clermont, or even Aberdeen, teams like that. Dundee don't get that budget, and he's done very well with a limited budget. So I don't think it affected the play, JP. I think now, in terms of these players, mate, I think you've got to be able to play on surfaces. Obviously, you look at the pitches years ago, mate, and teams are winning 6 and 7. Celtic teams are winning 6 and 7, and you'd all these fantastic players like Jimmy Johnson. I know it's gone back years ago, but the Parks back game were nowhere near as good. And they guys were playing good football back then. Obviously, I didn't see that, but in terms of when you speak to people, that the football was good and these players were really good on the park. So I wouldn't say it affected us, JP. It maybe hinders a wee tiny bit to maybe play the fast attacking football you want to play, but it shouldn't affect you too much, because it did look a lot better, mate, than it did against when they played the team across the water. Francis, a fantastic strike that hits the post. It's a different chat tonight. We need to be more clinical. Yeah, Francis, I agree with you, mate. He probably should be scoring that as well. I didn't think he was great himself, Hattati, but he's a lot better than a lot of the players, Francis. I don't know if you feel, but he might not play his best, but his level's above, in my opinion, still, to certain players. He's 3 or 4 steps ahead what to do with the ball. He's already looking, he's already scanning, he's already there to go and play. He's already got it in his head to go and play the pass. And for me, that's a sign of a very, very intelligent player. Just go through some of the comments. Nick, for me, like Francis said, Cal Mack looks very poor and unfit. I'd be tempted to play a Watt on Saturday if Hearts. I think, Nick, you're probably right. He hasn't looked himself. Do you play him against Hearts for 60 minutes and take him off again, or do you put the bench, play a fully fit Awata or a fully fit Bernardo, by the way, who has not really played much? And for me, Bernardo, I like him. I've paid the money for him because I think he's got much going for him in terms of potential. He's got much on him now in terms of ability. I think he's got a very good pedigree behind him in terms of where he came from, in terms of Benfica. So for me, Bernardo's got a shout as well to play. As much as it might be a battle, you've got to have guys in the park that can create things for you, and Bernardo can do that. He can battle as well. He done well against them across the water at Celtic Park, Paradise as we call it. So if it's Bernardo or Awata or McGregor there, I don't feel we've got any questions really about them. So, but I can maybe go with that, Nick. We'll obviously chat about that during the week, but Awata playing for maybe 60 minutes and put McGregor on, getting another half an hour, I think that is vital. I think you've just got to, it's maybe that and Callum and Cotton Wilson now, and make sure he's fit, because we need him fit for the game at Celtic Park against them across the water. So I would say maybe, that's a shout, Nick. Don't know if anybody else feels the same, but I think that's quite a good shout. And Jem, hope you're well. Ethan, Ryan, everybody else. Hope you're well, Ange. Had a good weekend. What's this? John, how you doing? The boy McGibbon played with for Dundee. Are we missing hidden talent? I think the boy McGibbon, I don't know if anybody can quote me on this, but I think the boy McGibbon, or McCowan, I can't remember his name now. I think, is he about 25, 26? If anybody can get me on that, unless I'm thinking of somebody else, but he's a good player, John, definitely. Don't know if it's going to be in the Celtic team, but like I says, mate, he's definitely a very good player, and I wouldn't begrudge the boy going further. But like I said, Dundee are a team that's maybe up and coming now with Tony Docherty. I'm not saying challenging Celtic or anybody else or anything like that, but they're up and coming from where they were. Bear in mind, they've just come up, and then obviously Tony Dock took over, and they're playing well. Top six for Dundee's massive. Dundee's remit would have probably stayed in the division, and then they've got now at the top six pushing for potential European place, John. So I think maybe it's good for the boy to maybe play another season at least, and then maybe go and see how it goes. I thought so, Nick. So I don't know about that, John. I thought he was 26, about that age. So he's not really an up-and-coming talent at 26. But I think Dundee's got a wee gem there in terms of a very talented player, definitely. Well, I know he can go higher than Celtic or higher than Dundee. Again, it's not my place to say. I'm not a Dundee fan. I don't watch him every week, so I'm not going to sit and comment on a player that I don't see. That's just not for me to comment, really. Through some of the comments, John W67, do you think McGregor's done for the season? It seemed like he's been forced back. I don't think he's been done, John. He's maybe been rushed back, yeah, because obviously where we are in the league, and we'll obviously try to go and win a trophy and a double. So I think it's maybe best, in my opinion. We'll obviously chat about it during the week on the podcast, but I think maybe resting him against Hearts on the bench, playing a fully fit Awata Bernardo, and then put him on the second half for another half an hour, and then a good week's training, and then you go to Celtic Park against your rivals. So I think that could be a decent bit of placing by the manager doing that, but Hearts are going to try and come and obviously spoil the party. So I think it's about playing your best team if possible, and fully fit. So I think that would do to the manager, my opinion. So a big question there from Jerry. Good evening, Jerry. Hope you're well. Your boy's Kelsey, he was good yesterday. Yeah, Jerry, I don't know if you just joined us or not, mate, but I did say he did do far better than last week. I thought last week he was very, very poor, and he seemed to get backed up by a lot of people, which is people's opinions. I'm not going to tell people what to say, and that's what football's all about. It's all about opinions. We're not always right. We're not always wrong. We're not always going to say the right things. We just see, well, me anyway, I just see how I call it, how I feel. He did play better, Jerry, 110%, but there's still moments in his game where it's under pressure. He's, like I said, he's passed the ball under no pressure. It seems to be the case in social media as well, and I don't know what anybody else thinks, but for me anyway, it's something that's quite a bugbear of mine, that on social media, when you criticise a player, that apparently it's shocking. You shouldn't be criticising players. It's not right. What he's not playing well. Aye, but it's okay. He's done this, but he's all right. He's done this. Listen, we're fans. We're allowed to criticise. Just because you criticise a player does not mean that it's personal. It does not mean you don't like him. It does not mean you're doing it for the sake of it. There's a reason why people criticise players. there's reasons why I criticise players. I've said it on the podcast the other night. It's because, one, I want the best players I can on the park and the best players playing for the club. We all support the club. No, Jerry, no you, mate. It's no you, mate. Don't worry. It's just social media, Jerry. No you, mate. I know you having a laugh, mate, and put scales and stuff, but people think that you can't criticise players. And when you do criticise them, it's because you've got a personal vendetta against them, or it's for the sake of it, or it's just because you want a rant and a moan. Me personally, there's reasons why I've had digs at Liam Scales or criticised Liam Scales. There's reasons why I've made criticisms on Yang, on O, on Greg Taylor in the past. It's not just because of the sake of it. We've all got players who we like and don't want to criticise them. We've got soft spots for them. I've got a massive soft spot for Scott Sinclair, Edward, these type of players. But Edward, and the end of his career, you can understand why fans were frustrated. I get, no, JP, like I says, mate, I'll put this up, mate, at this stage of the season. No, definitely, JP. Like I says, I'm not going to sit here and the rest of the season criticise players for what they've done wrong, because I just feel there's no point now, mate. I've said my piece over the season. But what I mean is, mate, just because you criticise players, there's reasons why people criticise players, and it just seems to be that you can't criticise players. For me, it's mental. You pay your money, you see what you're seeing on the telly, and if you feel that you feel that it's not good enough, or you feel that you see something that needs criticised, then you criticise it. But when you see something good, you need to praise it. And like I've said, Liam Scales was far better yesterday. When he was heading the ball, he was up early, he was doing things better. So, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and just criticise people. You've got to praise as well. That's what footballers are about. You criticise when deserving so, and you praise when deserving so. And yesterday, like I said, the performance wasn't great, but we got the victory. And that's what champions do. They grind out results. A wee bit of quality for James Forrest. Like I say, Stephen, that's your opinion, mate. I don't feel Lagerbielke's going to get. I think Lagerbielke's probably going to be away in the summer. But again, nobody can really criticise Lagerbielke, because what have they really done wrong? They've not really played a lot of football. They've not done anything. They've not done really anything to be criticised. Lagerbielke's done one thing wrong, really, and that was against Feyenoord. Apart from that, Lagerbielke's not really done much wrong when he's played. In terms of Nerowski, Aberdeen, one moment a man says to Aberdeen, and then he's been dropped. But Liam Scales continues to make mistakes, but he still plays. That's not right. But like I says, I'm not going to sit here and down players, because that's no this time in the season. This time he needs to back the players, support them, which we will do at the end of the season, because it's a massive run in. We've got a cup final as well to look forward to. So Scales 100% played well in terms of most of the game. Like Francis says earlier in the pod, there was a bit where he was a wee bit posted missing. But listen, not every player can play well at every moment in a game, and I think we can all say if they did, then they might not be at Celtic, might be further. So that's the reason why not every player can be consistent for 90 minutes. That's just, if they were, then some of them wouldn't beat Celtic. Hi Red, hope you're well. Thanks a lot, mate. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the podcast as well. JP, I get that. James Forrest, man, he's been getting lambasted for years. Celtic fans, folk are actually shocked that he's playing well. No, like I say, JP, myself, I'm no his biggest fan, but I've never criticised his ability. To come through the Celtic Academy, you've obviously got to have a lot of ability, mate, and also to still be in squads, and Ange and Brendan his first time, and then now when you're winning, he's always been here, so he's always has some sort of ability. I do feel the reason he did get a new contract was obviously that he can contribute, but I think it was more on loyalty and his experience as well. But the managers, let's be fair, I think we've all got to give the manager a bit of credit. He says a few months ago that James Forrest was the best winger that he had at the club, but maybe just can't play him every week due to what we're trying to do. And let's be fair, I think Brendan could be right through his comments. And no, I'm not shocked that he's playing, JP, because me and you did speak about last week that he should be playing yesterday. and it's about time now to go game time, mate. So I think we're getting bugged. I think we're getting bugged, JP. I think we seem to say, mate, about players or tactics, mate. It seems to be happening. But no, definitely, John, it's about getting those points on the board, Ryan. Yeah, spot on, John. Like I says, John, we can all sit here. We can all sit here and discuss players we might no fancy or players we should be playing, but it's now down to backing the manager and backing the players. It's now down to that because there's no point in looking back at the season now. That's done. We've got 4 games to go, 2 victories and a point. 7 points will get you the league title. 2 victories puts you massively in touching distance, and then a point will get you there. Because obviously the goal difference might count. The goal difference is kind of a wee point added to you because you're 5 ahead or so now. So, and you've still to play your rivals at home. So again, and the fact that you could go and win that, and it sets you up in touching distance for winning the league, which is fantastic in my opinion. Ian, sometimes when the whole team is poor, people do get individuals. Sure. Possibly, Ian, yeah. Like I said, maybe I'm at fault of that as well. But that's just us as fans, mate. Sometimes maybe myself, I look at players for doing things, maybe other players. But for me, I think sometimes the odd time certain players like McGregor and Vickers, the odd time for me, because they've been so good for us and consistently so good, they're allowed the odd bad game. But when you're consistently not doing the basics and not doing things well, then you're going to get criticised more than somebody who's doing the odd bad performance. But let's be fair, McGregor recently, but I think that's due to him not being fit and not being fully at it. But it's all about opinions, and that's why we love football. Again, Stephen, no, you're probably right. But again, just for what I've seen from Nurowski, he's better for me in skills on the ball. He's a better defender than me than skills from what I'm seeing. But there's other things that skills is better than Nurowski as well that we've seen. So listen, it's all about opinion, Stephen. We can all, if we all thought that we knew everything about the teams and players, and we'd all be managers, mate, wouldn't we? So, no, but listen, you're totally right, mate. Malaga, Bielka, and Nurowski, I don't think we can all sit here with full confidence and say that they're not good enough, or they are good enough, or they're going to be in time, because they've only played a handful of games, I think, between them. And that's very hard to judge anybody fully. I've seen skills enough now. I don't think he's going to be longer term for us, but we're back him now at the end of the season, and we just kind of go for there. Tell you what, Ryan, but skills was better than me, Taylor, and honestly, I wouldn't get a new contract tonight. Again, John, hope you're well. Greg Taylor, again, divides opinion, but I think he's solid in Scotland. But I think the European side now is, I think he gets exposed a bit more. So I think if he gets a new deal, I think it will be maybe to be the second in command, because I like to think that in the summer we'll go out and shell out a bit of money on a good proper talented left back. Which Greg Taylor is talented, let's be fair. He's playing with Celtic. That's no mean feat to play with Celtic at the standard he's playing at. He's very fit. He's had a good season. Greg Taylor, let's be fair. He's done okay in Scotland. But I think the new contract, obviously, they've not been there. He signed anything yet, so they wait until the end of the season to see what happens. Who knows, John? We'll have a look at that end of the season. No, he did. He did plunge. I'm not saying he didn't. He was much better than he did last week. Francis, there's no room for sentimentality when you're trying to win a title. We need players to know when to keep the ball and not risk giving possession away, taking stupid shots when there's only minutes to go. Yes, Francis, spot on. And I'm getting, it was on Lewis Palmer, you're saying. 2 minutes to go and he's trying to score outside the box. Just spot on, mate. That's where you've got to have a bit of game management, and you've got to realise that there's times where you try and go for goal, and there's times where you just sit and you just play the ball and you keep it, or you put it in the corner, or whatever you need to do to win the game. You're spot on, Francis. That's where your game management comes in. I know he might be frustrated, maybe not starting or not really been involved much, and he's wanting maybe try and do something to help the team, but you're spot on, mate. You've got to be a team player, and you've got to keep the ball. So for me, I think you're spot on. Roger sees these players on a daily basis, and obviously is probably not doing enough to want to play as well skills. You're probably right, Stephen. Again, but like I says, I've seen enough of skills. I know I'm not a manager, but like I said, I just hope it doesn't cost us. I've said it. I've said it the last few months. I just hope, like Francis says as well, been posting missing the back post and stuff like that. I just hope that doesn't cost us. But you're spot on, Stephen. I can't question the manager because he's picked the team. I'm not on the job. I'm not getting paid $3 million a year to make the choices he has. So you've got to go with the manager. I don't know what you've been saying, Francis. JP, was that on James Forrest or been bugged? Aye, I've definitely been bugged, mate, 100%. Do I think Maeda would be on the bench for the Hearts game? I think so, Stephen. I think Brendan did say that he would be involved. Whether or not he keeps him for the game at Celtic Park against a team across the water, who knows? But it gives you a massive squad player into the squad. Sorry, it gives you a player into the squad now with Diza Maeda next week. Sorry, the weekend. So yeah, he's a massive player for us, and he's vital to what we do. Jerry, I'll take 2-1 in the next 4 games, 100%. Jerry, I'll take any result, because if you win 2-1, Jerry, that's you win the league title. So I think we'll take that all day. Brilliant, Stephen. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Stephen. Appreciate the views. Through some of the comments. Red, does Kyogo get sold in the summer, Ryan? You're throwing a wee span in the works here, Red. That's what sparked debates with some of the fans. Kyogo, I think he's a brilliant player. But he has been a wee tiny bit off the boil this season. Whether that's just no getting service, whether that's no being able to play the system Brendan wants, or maybe he's just off form. Who knows? I do feel, though, Red, that we do need to go and sign another top striker, even if Adamida stays on signs permanently, because I'd like to think will be away on loan or if he's sold. I do feel we need to go and sign a good money striker to go with Kyogo if he stays, and if Adamida stays, because I think we do, personally. I want us to go and try and win this league, and next year I want us to go and try and challenge Europe. When I mean challenge, I don't mean go and win the thing or we're going to go and do that, but try and at least qualify out this big campaign that we're going to have in the Champions League. It's at least 8 games, and then 10 including 2 playoff games if you get that to that stage. So I want us to try and progress, win this league. You've got the biggest kitty, biggest financial kitty I think the club's going to ever have in terms of financial, and that's without your season books, etc. So I think the fans will be wanting some sort of good signings, but where no Kyle goes to go, Red, I think we can maybe speak about it in the summer. Once we get to obviously the end of the season, then we'll see for there. Webby, hope you're well, pal. Hope you're well. Some of the comments. Like I said, Jerry, I'm really not sure if it is the system or if he's just not playing well. Is it because Ange's away? I really couldn't tell you, Jerry. I think that's going to split opinion. Because he's not really been on his greatest form this season. But obviously, Kyogo, I didn't think he was great yesterday, to be honest with you. But he was still involved in obviously the goal with James Forrest. Whether or not you think he set him up or it was a poor touch, who knows? He was still involved in the game. So I still feel he's got to be the main man at the end of the season, because he will get you a goal. Give him one chance, he will get you a goal. Kyogo, for me, he needs service. He's a sort of striker. Again, I can only go on. Listen, I know I didn't play to the level they guys are at. But I did play up front myself, and for me, sometimes it depends what type of striker you are. Some strikers need service. Some strikers need the service to show their quality. But some players can go in and make the runs themselves. Some guys can make things happen themselves. It just depends what type of striker you are. Some guys, like Gary Hooper, poacher, but he could hold the ball up as well. So there's loads of things that impact, obviously, the way strikers play. For me, some of the chances he's missed this season haven't been great. And again, we can be talking through a different season here. If guys are clinical, don't think we've been clinical this season compared to last season. And the forward line hasn't changed much in terms of Kyogo, Maeda. I know we've missed Jota and Abada, but Kyogo's still here as well. Maeda's still there. So it's not like the full forward line's been ripped apart, because Abada didn't play every game last season. Jota played most of it with Maeda and Kyogo. So, but Jota was a fantastic player. Very, very good. I think we're really seeing now how good he was when he's not here. But listen, Celtic move on. We'll always get a good player in eventually. Celtic always move on. So as much as we love players, certain players, or might be our favourites or might have done well, we'll always get somebody else eventually. It might not be right away that we want, but we'll get somebody. James, how you doing? Ryan, Kyogo hasn't had hasn't had service all season. Yeah, James, I wouldn't say he's had the greatest all season. But is it because the players are struggling to get used to what Brendan wants, or is it we've just had one of these seasons where we've just not played well? Maybe we've just not played well. Is it due to the wing play not being good? Is it due to the wingers not being in tune to what he wants? We've seen Brendan obviously chatting a few weeks ago about Hatate not being there. He said that basically Hatate's vital. Right, there you go, Francis. He's just said it there. Yeah, he said that a while ago, Francis, in his presser, that Kyogo needs guys to obviously take the play to him, and that's what Hatate does. So for me, Kyogo, listen, he's a major player to this team, and but I can see why people might want him not playing due to recent performances. But for me, I think he's got to play every game of the season. I don't think it's the time of the season where you really need to chop and change too much of the team. Play, the manager's got to do what he feels is his best team, and then we go for there. You've got 4 games in Connacht Cup final, 5 games. Work your bollocks off for 5 games. Run yourself into the ground for your club, for your teammates and the fans. Get the league done, get the double, and then you can go and rest in the summer. You can go and have a few parties, a few benders, eat much pizza and as much cake as you want for a few days. Enjoy yourself after you win this. Get this done first. Fight every minute, every game. Show the winning mentality that we've got. Cream always rises, like me and JP say every week. The cream always rises to the top. So for me. This is what I'll stick my neck on the line. I think we'll do it. I think we've got the players to do it. They've been here, done it. We've got the manager to do it. So, like I said, we've got 2 games and you're in touching distance to win the league. You get 6 points, and then potentially the league could be won, barring other results. We don't know how results will go. Will the team across the water drop points? But then you might only need a point against Kilmarnock to win you the league. So it's all positive, guys and girls. It's all positive. We're 3 points ahead. I think it's 5 goals ahead as well. You've got 2 home games now coming up against Hearts and then your rivals, and then you've got 1 game at the end of the season at home against St Mirren, and you've got 1 away game. So it's massively in our hands. It's all about what we do. If you watched the game yesterday for our rivals, they struggled. St Mirren possibly should have won or got a point at least. But again, credit's due. The team across the water have been questioned in their mentality, but fair play to them. They won the game yesterday under a bit of pressure. So I can't see them giving up the ghost so far. But we all know their mentality in terms of what they've been putting out recently online in terms of players saying that we feel like we've lost it, or we don't have the belief and stuff. That will seek into the dressing room, that seeks into the fans, and that's not a happy dressing room that you want to be in. Yeah, Francis, I think it's due to because don't know what you feel, but we've not really performed in the Celtic that we've obviously known. But listen, title races happen. Whether we like it or not, title races happen. You can't win the leagues every season with 10 points and 12 points and winning 4 and 5 every week. That doesn't happen. As much as I feel we should be further away, yes, I do feel that with the financial aspect and everything else. But listen, we are where we are and we're still ahead. We're still 3 points ahead. And I think we'll do it. John, for me, I wouldn't be worried, John. Personally, mate, I get what you're saying, obviously, due to the park, and they'll probably try and park the bus and with things like that. But for me, I just think if we turn up, John, I think it's a different type of Celtic now, John, in terms of we're going to win the league title now. It's the last bit of the season. For me, I don't think you need any team talks now. The team talks don't. I don't feel the manager's got to have a team talk now. I think the team talk is you've got 4 games to win the league and 5 to win a cup final. I don't think any team talk matters because that's your team talk. 4 games to win a league title. That's your team talk. Obviously, the manager will have his team talk, but I don't think you really need to put in a team talk because that's your team talk. That trophy is 4 games away, and you've got 3 games at Celtic Park with 60,000. So, I plunge on the own goal. The own goal was, the own goal wasn't great, was it? It wasn't great. But listen, the game overall yesterday, we've got the victory. 2-1, fantastic victory. Again, not great performance-wise. It wasn't great, but we did get the victory, and that is the most important thing. 4 games to go in the league. Massive game at Celtic Park Saturday. I'm glad you've all joined me tonight for this 50-odd minutes or so. We will be back on tomorrow. Myself and JP will be back on tomorrow. Obviously, JP is unfortunately not well tonight, but the big man should be ready to go tomorrow. He'll be back hosting as usual tomorrow. I'm glad you've all joined me tonight on this Monday evening. I'm glad you've helped me on, obviously solo as well. So good to get a good chat with you. Again, please like and subscribe to the podcast. It helps us get guests on. It helps us put this out to you. It helps us get as far as we can in terms of getting people on this podcast. So it helps us. Again, we do it for free. We don't cost anything at all for you. It doesn't cost at all. We do this for free. It's all for the fans. It's all for your opinions. We like debates. We like putting content out for you. Hopefully, next few weeks we'll get some more guests on during the summer as well. But again, please like and subscribe. That helps everything we do for this channel. And I think JP might be on to himself in the morning. He will put that in the socials tonight or tomorrow morning. But me and JP will be on tomorrow night. Usual time, probably 8:30 as usual. So again, Lindsay, thanks for your time again. Thank you. Stephen, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Hope you've enjoyed the podcast. Ryan, hope you're well as well, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Smell the glove. Yep. Hopefully you all do. Thank you. And I think JP might come on in the morning. I think he'll let you all know. But myself and JP will be on tomorrow night, so it could be a double bill tomorrow. JP, hope you're well. Aye, get some sleep, mate. Get some well and rest. Ian, thanks, mate. Thank you. Hope you're well. Ange, thank you. Good night. Take care. John, hail, take care. But yeah, hope everybody enjoys your rest of Monday night. As at 9 o'clock, I'm off for half-10 show. I'm getting prepared for my half-10 show. So I think JP will come on in the morning, guys. So he'll let you know with the time. But yeah, please like and subscribe to the podcast. Also, AB Entertainment is obviously the sponsor, and MCN Framing is the partner. Get they two on Instagram, Facebook, and you can get them on the numbers, which I will put on again at the end of the show. But until then, tomorrow morning and tomorrow night, take care and hail.
Hi folks, JP here from the podcast. Just to let you all know that the podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ and entertainment business. Alex is on Facebook and Instagram, and you can hit him up through the WhatsApp for any bookings on 07845 746 092. And also folks, the podcast has taken on a new partner, and we're partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If you want any jerseys, or if you've got any memorabilia sitting around you want framed or anything looked after that way, contact John Mullaney, and you can get him at johnmullaney0971@gmail.com, or contact him on his mobile 07835 072 582. And here at the Unrestricted View, we hope you're all enjoying the content, and if you are, please like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and also share amongst your Celtic family as well. Hail, hail from all of us.